medical systems. According to the United Nations, only 16 of the 36 hospitals remain partially open, and more than 1,000 healthcare workers have been killed since October 2023. Joining me now is the president and co-founder of MedGlobal, Dr. Zaher Sahloul, and we appreciate, Doctor, your time with us this morning.
Good morning and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. I want to start by asking, I know you've volunteered in Gaza several times. What are the immediate needs if this ceasefire is successful, and how would that enable you to better provide help?
Well, first of all, this is a monumental moment in this 15 months conflict. As we know, more than 46,000 people were killed in Gaza. More than 50% of the buildings were destroyed. Only 16 out of 39 hospitals are still remaining partially functioning. 90% of the population have been displaced. 14,000 children have been killed. So there's a lot of suffering in Gaza, in the region, because of this war. And we're all happy because hopefully it will end soon. Yesterday, our team in Gaza said that we deserve life. The children of Gaza deserve life. The doctors and the nurses deserve a break. What it will require is an orchestrated effort led hopefully by our government, by the United States, to rebuild Gaza. What has been destroyed will take years, if not generations, to be rebuilt. The suffering and the trauma will take generations to be healed. But at least we have a starting point where hopefully you have a release of the detainees and the hostages. We have a stoppage of the war and the bombing and the missiles. And maybe people can start to think of their future and life and education and healthcare as we do here in Chicago.
So what are your thoughts then in terms of immediate needs? Would it be infrastructure needs immediately, or medical needs immediately, food? I mean, what would be the most important need to that area if indeed the ceasefire goes through and there's more freedom and a sense of freedom, at least, to move around?
I think food and medicine are the most important thing, like in any war like this that has lasted more than 15 months. Return of the people to their homes, because 90% of the people are displaced. Right now, there's only 50 trucks or so are going into Gaza on a daily basis. There's a need for more than 600 or 1,000 trucks every day that carries food and medicine and fuel for electricity. And of course, mental health support for people who are traumatized, which is basically everyone in Gaza.
Right. And, certainly, too, the hostages, if they are released, will need a lot of that as well. Let me ask you, are you concerned personally, because, you've been on the ground, boots on the ground, are you concerned about this delay now announced a few hours ago, really, by Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over some concerns he has that the vote on this might be delayed?
Dana, we're very concerned because, as you know, the deal was ready from April. We had a meeting with President Biden in April. At that time, he presented the same deal that we are talking about right now. And it took 8 months and more than 10,000 people to be killed to reach to this deal, which was derailed multiple times by the Israeli government, and also other factors in the region. So I hope that this deal will happen. I hope that the geopolitics and the politics inside Israel and also in Gaza does not derail that. People need a break. And I give credit actually to the administration that reached this deal at the last minute. But we need it. The region needs it. The region needs stability. The children in Gaza need to go to school, and doctors and nurses need to go to their hospitals without bombs, without missiles, without mass casualties.
Right. Yeah.
I pray that this deal will hold.
Well, yeah, I know that a lot of people agree with you. It's all very complicated, but hopefully a deal will indeed be reached and settled on here in the next day or so, at the very least. Dr. Zaher Sahloul, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I know we'll keep in touch with you. Have a good day.